Hello everyone, welcome to a new chess video. Today, I'm bringing you one of those traps you love so much and keep asking me for. It's a trap that'll make your opponent suffer a lot, and you'll also win in just a few moves. And if that wasn't enough, we'll be doing it with the black pieces, since you always ask me, please chess teacher, bring us a super powerful trap with the black pieces. And if that wasn't enough, you can play this trap when your opponent plays e4, the king's pawn. But you can also use it when they play d4, the queen's pawn. What does that mean? It means you can use this trap in 99% of your games, because they almost always start like that. So let's break it down. Let's start, for example, with the king's pawn, e4. So we're going to respond with the move knight to f6. This is called the Alekhine defense. Right from the start, we're attacking this pawn here. But there's a problem with that. Since we don't have this pawn blocking the opponent's pawn, now when we bring out the knight, they can attack it directly. But that's not a problem, because we know the trap. We have to place the knight next to the pawn, and now they can play d4 and have an excellent pawn center. Here, the main move in the Alekhine defense would be to play d6. But you already know that we love to find traps that go a little off the main line to catch our opponents completely off guard. And we're going to play the move b5. Check out how strange this move is. Besides looking like such a bad move, we're giving away this pawn. Notice that they could capture it, developing their bishop at the same time. So here, it would be very unusual if they didn't capture this pawn. First of all, let's see what happens if they do capture it. What's the idea behind this move? It's to prevent them from playing c4 to attack our knight. Here, if we play d6, they can attack this knight directly. So we play b5. Of course, we're giving up the pawn. And now what? Well, here we get a brutal counterattack. What we're going to do, remember, is play c5. Put this pawn here to gain a bit of space. A lot of people will already fall for the first trap of this opening right here. What is this trap? Notice they've already taken a pawn. A lot of people might think this guy is really bad. I'm going to crush him quickly. I'll take this pawn, and now I have 2 extra pawns. That would already be a huge mistake, because we have the move queen to a5, check. And on top of that, we're going to capture the bishop on the next move. You have to be very alert in this opening with queen to a5 moves, because this doesn't just happen in this trap, but it will happen many, many times during the opening. Look, let's analyze the situation a bit. We're given check, so here the opponent would have to block, right? But we're also attacking this bishop, so we're winning a piece. However, they're also attacking one of our pieces. So if we take the bishop, our opponent might take our knight, attacking the rook. Look, and here it might actually benefit them to get into this situation. But we don't need to worry about that, because we're still winning. Pay close attention on what we need to do next. Without a doubt, we're going to play queen to a 5, check, attacking the bishop. Let's see what our opponent does. If they block with the knight, we simply exchange here, and it would be the easiest thing in the world, because now we capture and our opponent doesn't get the piece back. So if they block with the knight, they're completely lost. Now, they don't have to block with the knight. They can make the good move here, which would be c3. But even then, we'll still win. Don't worry, we'll still win. Why? Because now we're going to do the following. They block with c3. So what are we going to do? We're going to take the bishop. What are they going to do? Obviously, they'll take the knight. If not, they're completely lost. Now, they still have actually 2 extra pawns, right? Because we took a piece, and so did they. But we have the move bishop to b7, protected by the queen, attacking their queen with an x-ray, and more importantly, attacking this g2 square, which is completely undefended. So when their queen moves, wherever it goes, it really doesn't matter. We're going to capture this pawn right here. Look, and then we'll definitely win the rook on the very next move. It's true, now we're down a pawn, but look, we've already got the rook won on the next move. Here, things could even get worse, because a lot of people want to attack your queen, right? Think about it. If you attack my rook, I attack your queen. But this is even worse, because it even lets us bring our queen in. Here, right in front of the king, this king can only move here. It's lost castling rights. This bishop won't be able to get out. We're winning material because next move we take here. Now this knight can't get out here because we take it, nor here because we take it. It would have to go out this way, and just look at this position. We have a rook up And on top of that, notice that the king is stuck here in the middle, can't castle, and is even getting in the way of its own pieces. Notice that this trap starts off really well, but be careful because it gets even better. Now, let's see how to reach the same position, but if instead of playing e4, they play d4. You can reach the same position, just like I told you at the beginning of the video, so you'll be able to use it a lot. If you're enjoying this video, don't hesitate to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. And I've got a trap with the white pieces ready that's gonna blow your mind. So let's do a challenge. If we reach 400 likes, I know that's a lot, but if we get to 400 likes, I'll upload that video about the trap. Seriously, you're gonna love it, and you'll use it in tons of games, so it's in your hands. If we reach 400 likes, I'll upload it. Now then, how do we reach this position with the black pieces if they play d4 against us? Check out how interesting this is. We're gonna play b5 right away. It's a super weird move. Here, your opponent is already gonna think you're a pretty bad player, but hey, that's okay. What's the best response for white here? Play e4. Why? To take control of the center and also attack this pawn right here. As you know, we'll play knight to f6. If they decide to capture this pawn here, we'll capture the d4 pawn. And what would have happened here? Well, we would have made a highly advantageous trade since we gave up a pawn on the queen side that's not particularly significant compared to the crucial central king's pawn, so we'd already be better off. However, here the white pieces might think, first I'll chase away the knight, and then when the knight moves, I'll take the pawn. And if you look closely, we're in exactly the same position. What should we do now? Well, the same as in the first variation. Play c5 to break in the center. We've seen that capturing would be a huge mistake because of queen to a5. But here, a lot of people might think, okay, now I see queen to a5, so what I'll do is protect both things. I protect the pawn and I protect the queen's entry. But simply, what are we going to do here? Pawn takes pawn, and when they recapture, now, yes, simply queen to a5 check, and we're in the same situation. And now it's even better, because this pawn is blocking the queen and couldn't recapture the knight. So whatever they do, if they attack us over here, we'll take the bishop. If they block with the queen, obviously we won't trade queens. We'll also take the bishop. And if they block with the knight, what should we do? Well, obviously we don't take right away because it's protected. Instead, we first trade the knight and then calmly take the bishop. Notice that in 5 or 6 moves, we're already winning a piece. I mean, you can't imagine how many games I've won with this trap. But wait, that's not all. Whoa, I'm choking now. Because that's not all. There's still more. So remember this well. Knight to f6, attacking a pawn. When they attack us, we move it here, d4. Now, yes, we play our b5. If they play d4 against you, you already know. You do it the other way, there's no problem. Bishop takes, we play c5, and we've already seen that so many people fall for it, even grandmasters, right? With pawn takes pawn, or even with c3. We know how to punish both of them, but what happens if they play c4 against us? They attack this knight directly. Well, we're gonna give it away. But first of all, you know it's in your hands, right? Let's see if you make me really happy and we reach 400 likes, or maybe even more, okay? I'll be super happy because I'm really excited to show you that trap I have in mind. Hold on a second. Wait, we're giving away the knight? Are you crazy? Yes, I've lost my mind, obviously. But this works, and if not, try it in your own games and then let me know. Look at this, okay? We take here, giving away the knight. How can that be? Well, why? Because when we give away the knight, we have queen to a5 check available again, and we'll take the bishop. And not only that, but we'll end up with a much better position. Now we're not down any pawns anymore. In fact, we have a much more incredible position. For example, when they block the check, we take the bishop. And look, we're attacking the central pawn, we're attacking this pawn over here. This position is terrible for white. I mean, we're so much better off now. These pawns are gonna fall. This pawn might fall too. They can't defend everything. It's a position that's gonna collapse under its own weight. Check out what an incredible trap this is. An amazing detail here that'll help you win a ton of games. Check this out, okay? When we play c5 and they respond with c4, like we've been seeing so far, we said we sacrifice the knight and take here. However, a lot of people will say, okay, I won't take here because then the queen would come to a 5 and they'd win the bishop. So what I'm going to do is take here with the queen. A much better move for white. However, we have another way to break open the position. Check this out, okay? This video is a gold mine, seriously. If you really learn and study this well, you're gonna win a ton of games, okay? That's why I keep insisting on those likes. Look, here, we can't play over here. It wouldn't seem like a very good idea, because this is still defended, right? But what happens? That we have this incredible move. What are we threatening now? I guess you all see it. We're threatening a jump here. Double and even triple check. So here, they'd have to decide, how can white's pieces naturally cover this square? Well, for example, with the knight over here. A very normal move here would be 6, to drive this bishop away from here and get a slightly better position. However, we have the move queen to a5, again, to set up discovered checks. Right now, we're threatening to move this knight over here, or here, given check, right? And winning material, a lot of material. So then, here a very natural move for white, what could it be? Obviously, bishop to d2, right? Supernatural. Not only does it avoid the pin, but now it's white who pins us. But come on, I'll give you 3 seconds here to think of an incredible bombshell. Come on, let's go. There it is. So the incredible move here is queen takes knight, sacrificing the queen. We're removing the defender, and now when they capture us, now for real, we don't have the knight covering us. Look at what an incredible triple check this is. We're going to win the queen on the next move. We're threatening this bishop, the king can't castle, and we're left in a much better position. So on top of that, we end up with an extra piece. Look, 1, 2, 3 against 1, 2, 3, 4. They've fallen into our trap again. And wait, the best part is still to come. All right, here we have to be careful with one move, which is if they bring the bishop back to c4 to prevent all these check threats. But now I am going to show you how to win when they play bishop to c4, which seems to be the best move. Are they just attacking our knight? Yes, well, we're going to give it away anyway. And we don't have to be afraid if they take it. Why? Because of the same tactic as always. You know, when you play this open, and keep in mind that you always, or usually, have the move queen to a5 check available, and will recover the material. Here, a logical move, not bishop to d2 to block the check. We take the bishop, and notice that now we're much better than white. First, we've broken up that strong pawn center that white had. Second, we've eliminated the bishop pair. Third, we're attacking the e5 square, and we're also attacking this g2 square. So it seems like there's only one way to defend them, right? Which would be knight to f3. They defend this one, and they defend this one. But we can continue with the move bishop to a6, completely cutting off castling. And now white is in serious trouble. Look, I checked what the most common move here for white was, and it was c3. And notice that here we win immediately. Pretty much, no matter what they do, we've got this one, right? But even if they play a move like c3, not sensing the threat, queen to e4, check. And now what can white do? They can't do anything. The king can't escape because it's cut off by the bishop. They would have to sacrifice material just to keep the game going. And that's more than one. Look, with the queen, it will be checkmate. So they have to sacrifice the bishop, and this is already more than one. We take here, and we're threatening to take here with a double check. This is more than just one. We've seen that by retreating, we give up the knight and take here. However, here the white pieces have a winning move that's practically impossible to find. Still, if they do find it, we have to be ready, right? They're not going to find it, I'm telling you right now. But if they do find it, what happens? Check out the move. Knight to c3, giving up the knight for the pawn. What a strange move, right? And they think, if I take here, I take here, and then I'm fine. It's a good move, but it's very hard to find. So what are we going to do? Well, we're going to take the knight and get into the game. Bishop take knight. And now what? They're threatening our rook. Notice that now we simply have the move queen to a5. As always, we're attacking here, we're attacking there, and they can take our rook. Notice that if they take here, check, here, here, and here, so we'll be in a really good position if they take the pawn. But of course, the interesting thing here is what happens if they take our rook, right? Obviously, we'd be down a rook. Well, here, check out this really interesting move. Pawn takes pawn, check. We're threatening the rook and the bishop. They block. And now we don't promote, because if we promote, they can take the queens. What we're going to do is take this pawn with check first. And now, when they block, what are we going to do? Well, capture the rook. What do you say, Stitcher? What do you say? You have a queen for me? Well, give me the queen, because with one, two queens, check. Look at this. This is totally one. Plus, they defend each other. And here, in this case, it's checkmate, because if they move back, it's checkmate. Therefore, here we are, completely winning. Check out what an incredible line this is to finish things off. If they discover the right move, the vast majority of players fall for this line. I hope you really enjoyed watching this video. Stitcher says we're going to hit 400 likes, so smash that button. If you leave me a comment, I'll read it. And if you subscribe to the channel, you'll see my daily videos. So thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next video, friends. Goodbye.